have 4 points.
Yeah, no, your psi points are equal to your psi score.
Correct.
Yeah, I've been playing that wrong.
Yeah, well, hey, at least, you know, in this we saved money.
Right.
Money.
And you suddenly became
research is awesome.
And you suddenly became a very powerful Jodani scion.
And that was the goal, right? The goal was to do this homework to make me more psionic, and that's exactly what happened. You didn't have to spend any money.
Exactly. Yes.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate the time and effort put into that. Thank you.
Oh, it was much worth it if you walk around like a fucking Jedi Knight now. I'm just saying. really, really well invested time on my part.
Well, yeah, and I think Cameron and Devin had a Psyblade for you, too. I don't know if you ever got that. It's basically a psionic lightsaber.
Oh, that's amazing. I think I wrote something down about it, but didn't know where to find information.
Yeah, it is also in Central Supply Catalog. It is on
a thing, and I am authorized to play the character, so I hope he makes it for the second half of the game, but last time he didn't, so we'll see.
Okay. So the Psyblade is on page 103.
Okay.
Of the Central Supply Catalog.
Right on. I will look it up.
But I mean, you're the only one that can really use it, so... I mean, according to the description,
I'm not, like, stealing it from someone else who could make, like, that's like with D&D, it's always like, oh, I'll take the fancy, magical, powerful thing that everyone wants to have.
Well, I mean, technically other people can use it, but you get the added benefit that if you spend psi points, you can give it armor penetration.
Oh, right on.
Like quite a bit of armor penetration. Like I said, it turns it into a psionic lightsaber is really what it is.
Heck yeah. Okay, cool. That's badass.
All right. So, welcome to the Pirates of Drinax. We're going to be picking up where we left off last week. Before we get started, we would like to thank a friend of the Greenwater Guildhall. If you're watching on Twitch, scroll down. You should see some tiles there. Those are links to all of these fine people's websites. If you don't see the tiles, click on my profile image. They should pop up for you. Tonight we would like to thank the Dogmight Games. Dogmight Games makes beautiful wooden tabletop accessories for your games, such as wooden DM screens, dice trays, dice vaults, dice towers. They've got this really cool thing called a player vault that has like a plexiglass surface that can be etched with a character sheet that you can write on with dry erase pens. Really, really cool stuff. And all of it can be customized. If you order something that's customized, it usually takes anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks to ship. If you order something that they have in stock, and they do have a plethora of stuff in stock, that will ship within 1 to 2 business days from the time of purchase. And we have a 10% discount for everything on their site. If you decide to order something and put it in your cart, just check out with code FRIEND in all capital letters, and that'll get you 10% off.
You ate.
If you are a fan of our Wednesday Night Traveler game, we do have a website via Obsidian Portal. The adventure log is written in the manner of Traveler News Service articles, and they detail pretty much everything going on in the Trojan Reach and some stuff filtering in from the outside. You're going to start seeing some news blurbs about, Tisney Zazzle going to Tobiah for the grand launching of the Deep Night Revelation expedition. But yeah, the travelers themselves in the Pirates of Drinax campaign are starting to take more and more of a front page noteworthy address, so they are going to be featured more prominently. If you're a fan of the page, please go to the front page and give us a thumbs up. We like to see those fan likes, and we hope you enjoy. And the last part, I would like to remind everybody that our Traveler Deep Night Revelation campaign kicks off this Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we are really looking forward to that. This is going to be a fun group, so check that out. So, last week, you guys did your little shopping foray through the touristy area Just a quick recap. Most of the people that you've run into, well, all of the people that you've run into so far on Tech World are all fellow spacers. Everybody else is robots. And Tech World has a population of like 10 million robots. I'm sorry, 1 million robots, but they only have a population of 10,000 Sophons. And, but it is an extremely high-tech environment, and it is kind of designed to foster the mad scientist in everybody. There are no limitations on science here, much to the chagrin of many other of the local starfaring cultures. Or perhaps they like it. I mean, a lot of benefits have come from Tech World's open environment for scientists. And so you guys went, and after your shopping for when you'd showed up, you had met a protocol droid. She was assigned to you as a liaison. Her name was Sophia, and she kind of gave you directions, showed you around a little bit, and then cut you loose to do your own thing. And you didn't have to pay for hotels. You were set up in a very rather fancy Advantage Hotel here in Spaceport. Or I'm sorry, Starport is the name of the Starport. They have little imagination. And while you were in, and this is an Advantage Hotel, and you're used to Advantage Hotels kind of being like the Motel 6 of the Traveler universe, and this wasn't like that. This was more like a Best Western. Well, maybe a Hilton. It was pretty nice. And Creeper assassin droids snuck in and tried to assassinate Tang, and they made their way up. One of them made their way up the elevator and was going to take somebody else out, and you kind of put the kibosh on that. And Ting smashed his with his piston fist, and going through the wreckage of this robot, there's a clear, no questions, there is a chip with the Jadeko logo on it inside this robot. Now, that doesn't mean that the robot was sent by Jadeko. It could be that it was just manufactured by Jadeko. Jadeko is mostly involved with trade, but, they have some manufacturing capabilities. So that doesn't necessarily mean that it was sent by them, but, I mean, who else hates you guys like that?
Well, I mean, there's a few nobles.
Yeah, there are people, yes.
I was going to say, I feel like that list is longer than you think it might be.
I know, right? It seems to be growing daily. Seems to be growing daily. So, as you guys are kind of, you've all kind of gathered in Ting's room where this initially started, looking at the busted up robot. And Beth, your mobile comm rings, and it is an incoming phone call from Sophia.
Hi, Sophia.
She says, hello, Captain. She says, if you, I realize that it's like early in the morning. It's like 3 or 4 in the morning. It's very strange to be getting a phone call from her. She says, if you can come out to the front of the hotel, there are some things that I would like to show you. And then she says, kind of, almost very human-like, she kind of whispers and says, do not ask questions. Behave normally. My masters wish to speak with you. Come down to the front of the hotel and follow me. And then she hangs up.
All right. Shall we? Does anyone have any objections? I don't mind following where the adventure leads. Let's make sure we got enough guns, though.
So on Tech World, with its law level, about what do we say? Cloth armor is the best that you can wear, and sidearms and blades are allowed. So unfortunately, you're not going to be tromping around in battle dress or even combat armor. It's going to be more mundane than that.
I have EMPs hidden in my armpits. So, or under my boots, I don't know.
Draw grenades.
Yeah, that's where they're at.
And I have my new lightsaber.
That's right.
So I got that. I'm good. That's really exciting.
I guess a piston glove is okay.
There's not really any rules against cestus. They're more. Seems like most of the law levels are more concerned with firearms. Although the higher it gets, the more they are concerned with melee type weapons. So yeah, no, you're fine with a piston arm.
You ready to roll out?
Yeah. I'm used to being in cloth. So it's not a big deal to me.
Yeah, it's a Tuesday. So you guys step out, and you don't see Sophia at first. And then you see her poke her head out around a building, and she's waving you over. And as you see her, you can see that there are... Hold on here. Oops. Moving through the street, and keep in mind the street's kind of it's early in the morning, so there are a few people on the street, spacers that are heading back towards the spaceport and whatnot, but it's not like it's crowded like it was last night when you arrived. But you can clearly see moving down the street these small drones. Everybody make a recon plus intellect check.
I got a 10.
Wow, Ox and Tang are at the top of the stack. Ching Shi, okay. How did Rexar do?
I got a 7.
Okay. Keith got a 7 and Beth got an 11. So everybody except for Keith and Rexar, you all see these drones, but the rest of you notice these drones are armed with laser rifles. I'm trying to determine how big these things are. Well, they're not as small as they appear. They're about humanoid sized, so upwards of 1.8 meters, and they are cruising down the street heading towards you. And they need to... Well, they haven't noticed you. Oh,
I would like to jam their signal.
Ew.
With my Aerocom.
Okay. Hold on just a moment.
If they're not getting signal, they're dead, right?
No. They can act independently.
Oh.
They're not drones. They're droids.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, that's totally different. Are they flying, or are they kind of crawling on the ground?
They are crawling.
Look, they got legs.
Yeah, they got little legs. There we go. That's better. I'm not even going to bother rolling for Sophia because she is useless in a fight. Whew. Everybody can roll initiative.
Ooh, 12.
Holy shit. Okay, so that puts you at 4 as well, which means you're going to get to go before they do.
So are we wandering around the streets in our full battle dress and weapons?
No, the best armor you can wear is cloth, and the best weapons that you can have are sidearms and like knife weapons.
Okay.
Between Beth and Keith, which one wants to go first?
Beth.
Okay. All right. So, you guys do get a surprise. What would you like to do with your surprise, since they're not aware of you yet?
Could I throw an EMP thing without hurting Sophia?
Maybe. Let's see here. So 20 meters is the distance that you can throw. I would think. Yeah. And let's see, it's got.
It's a bird.
Looks like it's blast 9 though. That could be a problem. Hold on here.
Is blast 99 meters out? Is that the deal?
So it's 9 hexes out.
Oh. Okay, so I'd want to throw that like around a corner or something, I guess. Wow.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Let me double check that, because that 9, I don't know. The blast radius for that seems excessive to me, especially for a grenade. So let me see what the book actually says on that. 9 meters would sound more accurate to me for a grenade, but here we go. Traits. It says blast. Weapon has an explosive component or is otherwise able to affect targets spread across a wide area. Upon a successful attack, damage is rolled against every target within the weapon's blast score in meters. In meters. So 9 meters. Okay. So if it was here, yeah, that would still be dangerous to Sophia.
So if I move forward a little bit, I could probably do it if I aim for the further droid or drone.
Yeah, you could move 6 meters and throw it.
I think it's King's turn first, though. So.
Well, I mean, the party has surprise, so. I mean, whoever you should. Once somebody does something, the surprise, they're going to know you're there, and then we're in regular initiative. So, you guys can discuss amongst yourselves what you want to do.
I think a grenade as a surprise is a pretty solid move. Like,
What do
if
you
we're
think?
going to do anything to surprise, let's make it a grenade.
I mean,
I'm on board.
Only if you put a bow on it first. Surprise!
We could also. I mean, I have some smoke grenades that I could probably legally have on me, and maybe that would provide cover if the EMP doesn't do a lot. I don't know. They got laser rifles, so I mean, it's in our best interest to not do distance. So I mean, if she's going to throw an EMP thing, maybe I could throw a smoke grenade that would give us some cover to head towards Sophia.
That's not a bad idea.
And kind of fog our area up. I don't know what kind of radius I can grab on that.
It could not hurt. That's my opinion.
So yeah.
Then yeah. So we're just gonna count to 3 and throw our grenades. Mine will be a smoke, of course.
So Beth, you could drop yours all the way down here, and then that would get within 9 meters. That could get both of these droids here on the west side.
Okay, I'll try it. What do I roll? I haven't thrown one in a long time.
So it would be athletics dex. If you don't have athletics, then it's just your dex score.
Okay. Got an 8.
It is perfect. All right, so go ahead and, well, hold on here. I know that they do damage, but I need to look exactly. Is it like stun damage? Is it, here we go, EMP. Did I? Here, EMP. So it only has 6 blasts, but that would still get that guy. Burst of electromagnetic radiation that does not harm living tissue but causes unshielded electrons to shut down in 1d minutes. Okay, so roll 1d.
Got a 2.
So these two will shut down in 2 minutes as their circuits will be fried. But until then, they're active and rolling. So, man, 2D minutes, that's like 20 rounds. Ox, or I'm sorry, not Ox.
Wait, they'll shut down in or for?
Let's set. That's
See.
Oh, wait. Unshielded electronics to shut down for 1D minutes. So those two are shut down for 2 minutes. And
That sounded more, yeah.
yeah, let me double check something. Well, those combat droids are ridiculous. I would think they would have shielded them. They did not. We'll just give them a little splat.
They must learn.
There we go. So they're shut down for 2 minutes, which leaves one of them. So Ting, where did you want to throw your smoke grenade?
Can I go right there?
Let's see. I would say probably yes. Yeah, that would work. It's only
All right.
13 and a half meters away.
All right. Let's see how this goes. This is basically a dex check. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah, either
Uh-huh.
athletics dex, or if you don't have that, just roll your flat dex.
All right. Well, let's do it. Gotta get on the right thing. A 10.
Okay, so you drop it right where it needs to be, and a thick cloud of smoke starts to fill the street, which will impose a -2 to all attacks on targets through the cloud.
Yeah.
So we are now in regular combat. Ox, what would you like to do?
I'm going to go over here, get behind cover, draw my weapon, and I'll be ready to shoot at them when they get within range, because my body pistol ain't going to go that far.
That's shit. Yeah, your body pistol has a range of like, what, 5 meters? It's
Yeah.
basically like a Derringer. Actually, I was looking at, I really like so there are a description of a body pistol in the Deep Night Revelation campaign that is way better than the one out of the Central Supply catalog, and I'm really hoping that they're going to fix that with the new update, but it actually looks like what you would expect for a body pistol. It's not this ridiculous bone-grafted ceramic gun. The Judeco combat drone has a speed of 8 meters. Is going to go right into the smoke cloud and is going to attempt to shoot Keith with a -2. Now, let's see here. He has a 4, so that's all 2. He misses with a 6, and the laser goes wild out of this smoke cloud. Rexar, what would you like to do?
Let's see. Probably just rush the closest drum.
All right, well, you're going to rush into the cloud of smoke.
I can smell it.
I love to smell a napalm in the morning.
And I will smack it with my axe.
All right.
That's what I'm good at. Three plus 3. 10. 10 to hit with the axe.
All right, that is a +2 to damage.
Oh, I should have said I was going to hit with the gravity hammer. Oh. It's still AP6 of D4. That's 11 points of damage. I rolled bad.
Okay, so he's going to take 3. They're not shielded, but they're armored. Oops. All right. We're back to Ting. What would you like to do?
How heavy do these drones look?
They're not light. I would say they're, and everybody's watching, please excuse me, I'm going to use English. I would say that they're probably, I don't know, 200 pounds.
Okay, all right. So nothing outlandish, I guess. Can I run over to the guy and attempt to grapple it?
Okay. So, well, let's see.
I might have too much of a distance to clear, huh? Get up to it.
Yeah, you could get to, you would be able to get half that distance to like right here. You could use 2 minor actions to get up to it, but then you wouldn't have anything left to do.
Yeah, I think I want to run towards one of the ones that are deactivated then. Because I have robotic skills and shit. I could probably do things to them to
Okay.
help us out more than that. So yeah, I will just as far as I can move to that closest deactivated drone, I'm gonna head that way.
Okay.
I will use up minor actions if I can. It doesn't matter.
So 3 minor actions would put you right there.
That's good. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I will shout out encouraging words, but I can't use the leadership skill or nothing. So there you go. Get them, guys.
Captain Beth. Now, yeah, I mean that could be an option as well. And this is something to keep in mind. I should have brought this up before, but tactics military. Hold on here. So. Where is it? Leadership. So yeah, so Beth could use leadership skill to give bonuses on attacks. Why am I not seeing tactics? I think tactics would give you a bonus to your initiative, if I remember correctly.
That's
Yes.
right. Tactics increases your initiative.
Yeah, so anybody who's got tactics military could use that skill to at the beginning before everybody rolls initiative to give people a bonus to their initiative. So something to keep in mind in the future.
Is it my turn?
It is. What would you like to do?
I want to shove Sophia out of the way.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, you don't really want her to get shot.
And run towards her and be like, oh my god, get out of the way. Yeah.
So yeah.
Not super hard, assertively. Yeah,
Okay.
there we go.
So yeah, you can shove her back, and she's like got her arms up, and she's saying, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean for you to get attacked when you came out." What would?
So that's like, okay. So for not minor action, is it? I'll draw the gun. I don't think I have enough actions to shoot, but I can pull my pistol out.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You can do that. What would Keith like to do?
Let's have Keith take a couple steps over. Let's get a better angle on the drone and then shoot at it.
Okay.
He has a laser pistol. That's pretty cool.
And don't forget, he's at -2 because of the smoke cloud.
Oh, 7.
So he misses. Not bad enough to endanger Rexar, but it is a miss.
Okay, and then I think he can move just a little more. So that should be it.
Okay. Ching Shi, what would you like to do?
So does the droid count as an object because it's not a person?
Yeah.
All right, then I would like to use telekinesis to pick it up and drop it onto the ground, Scarlet Witch style.
Okay. So
Does it slam it into the ground as hard as I can? Because I was thinking I would launch something heavy at it, but I'm afraid that could go badly and hit Rexar.
right.
And if I pick it up and slam it into the ground, I'm less worried about the aim then.
I can
Right.
take it. Don't worry.
If you pick it up and just drop it, the fall damage ignores armor.
Right.
That's the plan, is to just...
Ah. You guys are getting into stuff that we haven't done before. Let's see here.
I know, because I didn't think I could. I thought it was something I had to hoard and not spend.
Right?
Yeah, now she's a Jedi. Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Because before I was like, I have all these skills and I can't do anything with them. Now I can do stuff.
Yeah, spend them points. They come back sooner or later. Oh, if you take the skill where you can drain people's psychic energy off moods and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I mean that anybody that's freaking out can in theory be a side battery for you. You can bring like some horror movies or something, you know. We could just sit there and like, you know, watch The Exorcist and be like, oh, what the fuck? And then you'd be like,
Like Monsters Inc.
Yeah.
I collect screens. Cool. I'm into it.
Yeah.
So, does anybody know a conversion of, well...
So 100, so you said that it was 200 pounds, which is roughly 100 kilograms.
Okay, so 100 kilograms.
And it's one side point per 100 kilograms. So for one side point, I should be able to lift it up.
It's one side point per 10 kilograms.
It's one side point per 100 kilograms, according to my...
Update 2022 says it's 1 per 10.
Oh, because on page 200 of the conversion I have, it says 100.
Hmm. Yeah, it's 1 per 10 kilograms. Which, I mean, that would cost you 10 psi points, but you've got psi drugs.
Well, no, actually, it is 90.718 kilograms. It's 200.
Okay, well, yeah. All right.
And
So
then if Nexar gives it a little nudge up as I'm lifting it, then it should take some weight off. Okay. Okay. In that case, I guess I will drop something heavy on it.
okay.
Be ready, Rexar. I don't want to hurt your brain. Cover, duck and cover.
So the top
I mean,
of
there's gotta be like,
Duck and cover.
well, if I'm gonna hit you with a big barrel Donkey Kong style, I really want you to survive it.
yeah, there's a wheeled
There's gotta be heavy metal boxes and
Right.
things like that.
right.
Screens and things I can just pull on top of it.
Yeah, you can huck a dumpster at it.
Nice. Okay.
And I mean the dumpster would be like 50 kilograms, so that's 5 psi points. But
So
you get
I'm going to, I guess, do like 30 kilograms of force.
Okay.
I think that gives me 10, but then I'm -2 because of, I mean, does that count for dropping a box on his head too, the smoke? I'm not going to shoot at him.
Yeah, I would.
Okay, so it's 8.
That's still a hit.
I think I just made it.
So you pick something up that weighed 30 kilograms. That's going to be, we're going to say 3d6. So roll 3d for damage, and it will ignore armor.
I got 18.
No shit. All right.
I think so. On the dice that you gave us, this is a 6, right?
Yeah, it is a 6. Yeah.
Yeah, and I got 18.
Okay. So
Yeah.
So Rexar, you see this large box out of nowhere crash on top of this droid, and sparks fly out of it, and it is kind of mashed to the ground, but it is still kind of squirting around. Ting, what would you? I'm sorry. Ching Shi, did you want to move yet at all?
Well, I think we should GTFO. So I'm gonna head towards Sophia and Captain and Keith.
Okay. So you can move 6
Because I
meters.
figure we can start running off that way if we have a dead drone and 2 disabled drones.
Okay. So you can move 6 meters towards them.
And I don't want to be too clumped together. That's good.
Ting, what would you like? Oh, I'm sorry, Ox. What would you like to do?
I will move up. What I can get to about here.
Yep. That
Okay,
seems about right.
Looking around, covering those drones start moving.
Okay.
Shoot at them.
Out of curiosity, no, he is out of range. That would make your shot rather difficult. So yeah, you can basically keep a watch and ready in action if one of the drones comes to life.
Okay.
The combat drone is going to it's going to try and shoot Rexar at a -2, but because it's point blank range, well, in the smoke cloud, he's still at -2, but at point blank range, that makes this a 4+, an easy check. And he still misses with a 7. Man, these dice, I don't know. Rexar, what would you like to do?
Finish it.
Finish it.
Mercy kill this poor robot.
Go for it. You're still at -2 from the smoke.
That is still a 9 to hit.
That's a hit with a +1 to damage.
Listen, I'm not good at a lot of things, but smacking stuff with my axe is what I'm good at. 15 points of damage, 6 AP.
Yeah. So there is literally nothing left of that drone. Rexar slices off its legs, one of its arms. I mean, he's just taking this thing apart. Now, before you guys decide to get out of there, Ting, there's something specific you wanted to do to one of these drones. Now, keep in mind, though, if you're going to try and tear one apart or reprogram it, it's going to take time. And you've only got 2 minutes.
Right. He just kind of opened one up. I just would like to see if I could go snatch the hard drive out of that and move my ass.
Sure, go ahead and make a... I would say make a... make a computers plus intellect or... electronics, computers plus intellect or education check, your choice.
I'll take education and computers. This will be at +3. An 8.
Yeah, so you're able to take out its interface. Basically, so these things, the way they work is they can either be directed by a controller, somebody who's basically got a remote, or they can act on their own. These appeared to be acting on their own. They didn't need a controller, and you don't see anybody around anyways. So you have its interface in your hand, and you can, fiddle around with this thing as needed. So Sophia leads you guys. She is kind of in a hurry to lead you guys away. And she leads you to what looks like a sewer access tunnel. And she leads you down a ladder, and you guys go down, and you are in basically the underbelly of Starport, and you can tell that nobody's really been down here in a long time. Like, you can see water from the water reclamation units, like just free flowing down the walls. It looks like you're in a high-tech sewer. And she leads you through, and it comes to an access grate that opens up and leads to a service corridor that she tells you only robots generally use this, and they just use it for moving around the city. And she says, she points to the end of this service corridor, and you can see that there is another like a grated door, almost like a cell door, like a outside of a sewer or sewage drain kind of gate. And she tells you, and there's a big, panel on it, red button, green button. Green obviously opens it. It's set for red right now. She tells you to go out that door. She says, and head north, and there you will find the entrance to the automated factories. And she tells you that her masters will meet you there. She cannot go with you. If she's gone any longer, her absence will be noticed. And so she turns around, and as she's walking away down the corridor, she turns and looks over her shoulder. She says, "I wish you all luck. You have been very kind to me." And she turns and kind of waddles off down the corridor. As you follow her directions and leave this service tunnel, you come out here. And around the corner of this building, you're kind of tucked behind it, you see that there are 3 Judecco security officers, and it looks like they're supposed to be guarding this crate that's sitting in the middle of this alley. Now, or in this alley. This door up here appears to be the door that Sophia directed you to go to. So the question is, how do you want to deal with these Judecco security guards? Now, of course, obviously one option would be to try to stealth your way up there. But these guys, there's not a lot of stuff to hide behind. On the flip side, though, these guys don't seem like they're really all that interested in guarding this crate. They look like they're really bored. They're kind of just
What are
mulling.
they wearing?
They are wearing that's a good question. I know what they're wearing. It's just that my brain's not quite. It's not quite as fast as it needs to be. Hold on here. They are wearing TL10 polycarapace. So they have plus 10 to armor. But they're standing around smoking cigarettes and shooting the shit, and they don't seem like they're really that into this job.
That's one possibility. Other possibility is crate is full of huge gun. And we turn the corner, they open it, and we're fucked. Can we use any psychic powers to find out if they are in a murdering mood, or
Well,
I don't know how many side points you have.
Well, I can read surface thoughts. I can try and send surface thoughts and tell them we're not the droids they're looking for, but that's difficult to do. So I can read the surface thoughts and see if they're looking for us specifically.
Yeah, if they're not, we can just be like, nice crate, douchebags, and walk by. He probably won't do anything.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, hold on. Oh. Segments are recorded at the rate of 1 point per hour. So 3 hours after she uses a psionic power, she will begin to regain psi points at the rate of 1 point per hour. So they are definitely like spell slots.
Yeah, but I've got 8 more.
Right.
So I'm gonna read surface thoughts
Okay.
of whoever looks like they're in charge. There's got to be like a squadron leader or something.
Sure. We'll say it's.
Whoever's got an extra dot on their collar.
Yeah, this guy seems like he's pretty got it all together.
Like stuck up, looking for promotion. That's whose brain I want to read. Ooh, but I don't think I'm successful. Because I rolled terribly.
What'd you get?
I think I got let's see. I got 6.
Yeah.
And it's an average check, so I failed.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
So
Trying.
then I have to look. Let's see here. Read surface thoughts. Well, it doesn't have any effect. You're not able to read any of their thoughts, but
It doesn't give us away.
it does. They don't. He's completely clueless as to what you tried to do. They're completely unaware that you're there.
All right, I say we walk by real casual. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I could probably go try to approach them and have a conversation and see how it goes. If they act aggressive, then it's on, I guess. They'll fuck around and find out.
You know what I could do? I could aim.
Yeah,
You could get
I
rid
mean,
of-
all of you can sit there and aim on them.
Yeah, and I'll walk up. Yeah, I'll try to do the bullshit method and see if we can cruise on by. And if not, you guys just fuck them up, and I'll watch.
Right.
I'll strike a good pose.
So
Fancy.
I will go around. Rexar, who are you aiming for? I assume that you're going to use a ranged weapon, or are you going to prepare yourself to run into combat with your axe?
I'll get ready to throw my axe at the one on the right.
Okay. So you can aim for a +1 for the one on the right. Qingxi, who are you going to aim for? You're going to shoot at the big boss man? Beth, who do you want to aim for?
Which one's left?
The one in the back.
Okay. Yeah, that'll be me.
Okay. And what about Keith?
Big boss man.
Okay. So that's 2 on Big Boss Man. And Ox, what would you like to do?
I will move up to there and shoot him.
Okay. So are you going to aim for him, or are you going to actually pull the trigger before Ting gets up there?
I'll let them shoot first, then I'll move and shoot.
Okay. All right.
I mean, I have to move. I don't think I have enough to move, aim, and shoot.
Right. But I mean, they're not aware that you're there, so you could move and then take another minor action to aim.
Okay, sure. I will do that then.
Okay.
But I don't want to move out and spoil anybody else's surprise shot. So I'll wait till the shooting starts.
Okay. I gotcha. So Ting. So Ting, you get to about right there, and the one in charge, this guy here, He puts up a hand and he says, "Excuse me, this area is secured. It's off limits. You're going to have to turn around and go back the way you came."
Well, I understand that, and I understand that you have a job to do. But look, I am here in service of the Baron Nothratrop, and it is imperative that me and his service get to him. He's doing a special arrival here. He's about to show up, and he's going to have a big job done. So he's going to get some cybernetics done. It's really something I shouldn't get into too much detail, but we must pass. We must go that way. Perhaps we can come to some agreement. Least you anger the Baron for delaying her staff.
Go ahead and make a persuade plus charm check, and I'm going to give you a +2 to that.
Okay.
This is going to be a difficult check.
Okay. So persuade plus charm. You said charm or social? Just charm though?
Just
Persuade and
charm. Just charm.
All right. So that's 1, and then persuade is another 1 plus another +2. So we're going to go +4 and see how this works out. 9.
Oh. So they all kind of, the two in the back kind of look at each other like, who's Baron? What'd you say his name was? We've never heard of him. And the commanding officer, like, he pulls out a submachine gun and says, "Yeah, no, I don't care who this Baron what's his face is. You're gonna have to move back, sir."
I'm going to shriek.
Okay, so the shriek box.
Yeah.
What does that do?
It's going to give them a -2 to all skill checks while they're right up on me while I'm shrieking.
Okay. So
Because it's very annoying. Yeah.
he is shrieking, so the rest of you, because you have been lying in wait, I'm going to say that you all get a +5 to your initiative. But these guys are going to be at -2 to their initiative, so I don't really expect that to go very well for them.
Cybernetics. Yeah. In my shrieky voice, I will say, "You should have submitted."
Yeah, so they're at like -4. Oop, yeah.
Alright, I had to take my bets, I'm sorry.
No problem. No problem. You are rolling initiative and you get a +5 to your initiative.
+5 is not so hard. No.
With a +5 to initiative, Captain Beth still is at -1. What?
I can't put in my thing at all. It's like all I see is.
I'm sorry. I know why. Hold on. Let me fix this for you. Another idiocy of. So one of the things that Roll20 does, if you switch maps, the initiative goes invisible for the players, and I frequently forget about that. There you go. Now you should be able to see yourselves. Holy Jesus. Oh, okay. Why is this not doing it? There we go. All right. So Keith Clark can go. He has a +1 to his attack.
You said a +1, right?
Yep, for aiming.
Oh, okay. 11.
Oof. So that is a +3 to damage, and he was shooting for the one on the right. Is that correct?
He was shooting for the boss man.
Okay.
Whichever one that was.
So, boss man. Go ahead and roll damage. That's a +3 to damage.
12.
Okay, so he's going to take 2.
Damn it.
And did Keith want to move at all?
That's probably wise. There's not a lot of cover.
No.
I don't know. Kind of there-ish.
Okay. And Beth, what would you like to do?
I was aiming for the one in the back.
Okay.
Let's see here. Oh, cool. That was a 14.
Ooh, man. So that is a +6 to damage. That is an exceptional success. This guy might be severely boned.
You just told me a +6, right? Okay, that's 16 altogether.
Okay, so he takes 6, but I'm going to say that you shoot him and you hit him so hard in like the perfect shot, his armor actually is cracked. You actually reduced his armor value. Instead of
That is awesome.
a +10, he now has a +9. Rexar, what would you like to do?
Release the gravity hammer.
You're throwing the gravity hammer?
Yes.
Okay. You got a +1 to your athletics dex.
Oh.
Man, that's got to be a scary sound.
You said +1.
Yep.
That's a 15 to hit.
Jesus.
Let's through
So that is another exceptional success. That is a +7 to damage.
Let me pull up the gravity hammer stats real quick.
And does that have AP on it?
I think it has a fuck ton of AP. Hold on, I just put on the USB. There we go. Traveler. He's on the thunder was scary.
Right?
So this is 5D with AP 50.
AP 50?
Yeah, that's a gravity hammer.
Holy shit on a shingle. I gotta look at this. Page 98.
Oh, there's the catch. When using the gravity hammer against any target smaller than a vehicle, the attack rolls suffer -6. So that's only a 9. That's only a 9 to hit.
That's still a hit with a +1, and it's AP 50, so his armor means nothing. So, yeah, that's 5D plus 1.
5, 8, 11, 14, 19,
Oh,
last roll. 23 plus 1, so that's 24 points of damage.
Okay, so...
Are we playing by the rules where if you lose all your endurance in one turn, that's it, you go unconscious?
Kind of. So, well, no. If you lose all your endurance, you can then choose to take damage from either strength or from dexterity. But it has to be consistent. So, like, if you choose strength, then all damage is going to be reduced from strength.
Okay.
But we are going to use the optional rules that just because you lose 2 physical stats doesn't mean, or let's say you lose all 3 physical stats, it doesn't mean that you're dead. It could mean, like, that you are terribly maimed, or you're probably dead. But there are still some possibilities. But this guy gets hit by the gravity hammer, and you just hear this sploosh, and it's like he got hit by a freight train. He literally explodes and paints this wall back here with his guts and blood.
I hope we didn't have a key we needed or something.
Right? Yeah. There's nothing left. There's absolutely nothing left of this guy.
Rexar's gonna put his fist up in the air. And, that was awesome. And he's gonna point to the guy in the back of, you, bring that back, I want to do it again.
Did Rexar want to move at all? You got 6 meters of movement. Okay. You're gonna move up to the puddle. Ching Shi, what would you like to do?
Well, for a hot minute, I want to just admire Rexar's handiwork. Just for a stun.
Everybody starts. I can just see you guys. Everybody starts clapping. Like that was really good.
Exactly. Well, and then I will sort of stop. Oh, I'm on measure. I'll sidestep so that to about here and shoot the supervisor.
Okay.
I'd like to speak to your supervisor in my best Karen voice. This is unacceptable. I want the manager. Just kidding. I don't want the manager. I just want them to die. Okay. As quietly as possible. Let's see. And it's... What do we get for the streaking?
So they're...
Do they get minuses?
Yeah, they're at -2, but you get them +1 for aiming.
+1 for aiming. Okay. So that's 8, 9, 10, 11.
So he takes 1 point. Thank you, Polycarabus. All right.
So it was 11 to hit.
Oh, I'm sorry. So yes, you get a +3 to damage.
And I'm using my Gauss pistol with AP3.
Okay.
Which means I need another dice. That was underwhelming. 10.
Okay. So he will take
Yeah.
3, which is way better. Okay.
And then I'm good with where I am.
Okay. Ting, what would you like to do?
Well, I guess the leader guy is just right there, and he's not really that far from me right now. And he's got that machine gun.
Yeah, he's
in
like
his
3
hands,
meters
right?
away from you. So yeah, they're all
Yeah.
armed with submachine guns.
I'm just gonna. Oh, I gotta put it over there so I'm on the pointer. Okay, here we go. So move right there, and wanna grapple his machine gun.
Okay. So go
Yeah.
ahead and make your choice, either strength or dex unarmed check. Yeah. So 1d plus either your strength or dex. And actually, let me hold on. I want to double check something on that. Does anybody know? Can you use athletics on a grapple check?
It is my understanding that these are opposed unarmed combat rolls.
That's what I
Then,
thought. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
melee unarmed plus either your strength or dex. Okay, so yeah, that's what we do. So he is going to use dex because he has a +1.
he's also at -2 of all skill checks.
Right. So he
I
only
got a 14.
he got a 6.
If I beat him by 6, I take his weapon.
Yeah, you can rip that gun right out of his hands.
So we will go ahead and just throw it over my shoulder as if it's pepper. Just
Okay. So you rip it out of his hands and toss it over your shoulder.
yeah.
You still have 3 meters of movement if you wanted to run away from him.
Why? I don't have much faith in him to be able to beat me in unarmed combat. I'm gonna knock his fucking head off.
Okay. All right.
I mean, really, I'm not afraid of him. I'm just shrieking away here.
Okay.
Um,
Ox, what would you like to do?
Well, I don't think I'll do what my original plan was, since I don't want to shoot Ting. I'm sort of useless here.
Well, you could go grab that submachine gun if you wanted to. You wouldn't be able to use it right this second, but next turn you could.
And with the one here?
Well, Ting grabbed it out of his hands and threw it over his shoulder, so I would imagine that it would be like somewhere around in,
There?
like right there.
Sure. Sounds good.
Okay.
I'll get a submachine gun.
All right, so you pick up a submachine gun. The security officers, this guy in the back is like looking at what's left of his partner and is like, holy shit, I really need to do something about that. So he's going to move there. Let's move this guy's bloody corpse out of the way. And he's going to open fire on Rexar.
don't forget your -2.
That's unnecessary to do, I feel.
Even with the -2, he gets a 10 for a +2 to damage, with auto 3 on burst for +5 to damage.
Jesus.
For 16. So, Rexar, what kind of armor are you wearing? Was it your flex?
Yeah.
So he did 16.
Yeah, that smarts.
This guy is going to use a minor action to draw his blade, and he is going to try to stab Ting at a -2. with a 9 to hit. So +1 to damage on Ting with a blade.
I think I'd like to use my reaction to try to. I try to parry?
You certainly
Give
can.
him -2.
You certainly
I
can.
think I want to do that.
He got a 9.
So -2 would make him 7.
No, he rolled an 11.
No, I want to use my reaction to parry his melee attack.
Right.
To try to fend it off. And so doesn't that impose a -2 on his hit?
It did.
Another
It did.
-2?
He rolled an 11. -2 is 9.
Yeah, and then minus another 2 for the shrieking puts him down at 7.
I thought parry was an opposed check.
Oh, if we're opposing, okay, I just have to roll above a 9.
Let me double check that. You might be right.
I know I take a minus next round for using my reaction.
Yeah, you'd be at -1 next round, but
yeah. Yeah, I know the unarmed combat aspect of the game is kind of rarely used.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the first time we've really gotten into.
Yeah, but I really like taking people's weapons away. I mean, that makes me really happy that I invested in that skill.
Reaction. Dodging. Parrying. Traveler in close combat may attempt to parry an opponent's melee attack as a reaction. In so doing, they will inflict their melee skill as a negative DM to the attacker's roll. Okay, so what is your melee unarmed skill?
Oh, 2.
Okay, so you're right. So that makes it a 7. You parry his attack.
Yeah, cool.
Right.
I'll smile at him as I continue my shriek.
Okay. What would Keith Clark like to do?
I feel like the shrieking while fighting comes out like Michael Jackson. Like, you do something and then you're like, like that's exactly in my head. I mean, I know you're calling it shrieking, but it's like, come on. Like that's what I envision.
Do you think from here, well, actually, I'll do this, and then, shit. I'm trying to shoot the guy that shot Rexar. I'm trying to figure out the best way to be there.
Yeah, I would do it. Or here.
Okay.
What are you doing?
I think that's like all my movements, but this is like, okay, let's see. I got 8.
That's a hit.
Okay. $15.
Ooh, okay. So this guy's not looking too healthy. He has a stitched burn on his armor, but he's still up. His chest is smoking. Captain Beth, what would you like to do?
I want to go in and finish the...
All right.
$8.
That's a hit. I assume you're going to use burst fire?
Sure.
So you're using a Gauss pistol, right?
Yes.
So that's a +3 to your, or I'm sorry, +2 to your damage, and it is AP3.
Okay. $13.
Okay. So he is in deep shit because he's unconscious. And he drops. Nicely done. Rexar, what would you like to do? Rexar, are you there? Oh, there you are.
Perfect. Going here, 6 feet, grabbing my hammer, flinging it at the other guy.
Okay, so he, because of the crate, that's going to give you a -2 to hit.
Oh, never mind. Don't just bring. We want to keep this guy that just shot me alive.
Well, we've got the leader here. He's still alive right now.
I mean, yeah, you guys don't really have any reason to question these guys. You just need to get past
Yeah,
them.
I'm just gonna bring my hammer down on that guy's skull.
Okay. Yeah. You coup de grace. I mean, you bring your hammer down, and he just...
It's like a Gallagher explosion.
Yeah, he just sploots.
Seeing that that's about to happen, I'm gonna pull out my plastic sheeting. Because if you go to a Gallagher show, and Life with Rexar is a Gallagher show, you keep that plastic sheet with you at all times.
Yeah, this is getting to be more like a Gallagher show that's run by Dexter.
So just as I see the hammer getting ready to do the big swing with the sledge-o-matic, I'm pulling up my clear plastic sheet.
Hello, Devin. Welcome back.
Hello.
Qingxi, what would you like to do?
According to my calculations, I can move to here as 6 meters.
Yeah.
And then I want to hit this guy with that side blade.
Oh, okay. So it is melee. It would be melee blade.
I have melee blade.
Yep. Melee blade plus
At
your
1.
your choice of either strength or dex.
Dex.
And then you can choose how many side points you want to throw into that. For
I think
AP.
I'm already at +2, so I think 2 more will do it. But then I'm going to need to take a nap.
So how many? So
I have 6 points left.
right, but what does that make the side blades AP at that point?
I don't know.
Let me double check.
I'm winging it. I haven't gotten a chance to look it up. I'm going to look it up after tonight's game.
Okay, hold on here. I will tell
It's
you.
always best to use it before you look it up.
Right.
I think so.
Yeah.
So it
That's a
says.
good feel of it.
Since this isn't like, it curses me, I mean, since that's not really a risk in this case, why not?
The side blade adds the traveler's side DM to the damage it inflicts, as well as his strength DM. It will also have an AP score equal to 5 times the side DM. Additional side points may be spent on a successful attack to increase the damage and AP further. Each point of psi expended in this way increases the damage by +1 and AP by +5. So what's your current psi DM?
+1.
Right, but you've spent some points. So what's your psi currently at?
Oh. So I'm currently, I think, at 6 points. 6 points.
So it would do 0 additional damage. It would do 0 AP. But if you hit, you could say, well, I'm going to spend 2 AP. I'm going to spend 2 psi points to give it
Right.
plus 2 damage and plus 10 AP.
Yeah. Can I decide that after I hit him?
Yes.
Sweet.
Down. Let's run a little bit. So it is 2D that you roll plus all of that, and it will ignore his armor because he only has 10 armor.
Perfect. 16.
Ooh, okay. So. And you drop him on here. And he's not dead, but he is unconscious in one hit.
Sweet. I would like to step over his body.
Okay.
Like put my foot on his chest and step over his body and walk the way that we were supposed to.
Okay, so you
Get out
guys,
here.
you guys make your way up to this.
So can we look in the crate?
Yeah, you can look in the grate.
I wanna. Does Rexar need medical attention also?
No, I'm fine. Everything's fine. Don't worry.
Okay. You might get some holes poked in you.
I got
Alright.
-4 to my endurance. It's fine. Don't worry.
I could use a nap too. So wherever we go, if it turns out to not be a trap, I could use a nap.
So yeah, I mean, Beth can, if you want to take the minute while he's looking in the crate, Beth, you could go ahead and make a medic plus intellect or education check for first aid.
And while all that is happening, I want to make a pretend gesture like I'm wiping the blood off my blade on my sleeve and putting it back in its holster.
Right.
Like a samurai.
I got 10 on my medicine check.
Okay,
Nice.
so Rexar, you can get 2 points back.
Sweet.
So what does that put your endurance at?
12.
Okay. That's not too bad. And I didn't get through and do any strength or dex damage, right?
No.
Okay.
Rexar's a tough guy. Except when he does his poetry.
Except when he does poetry. So, Ting, you look inside the crate, and inside you find that the crate is actually filled with radiologicals.
Ooh, this is worth about a mega credit, I believe.
Yeah, this crate, I mean, you're looking at this crate's probably 1 ton of radiologicals.
And they don't have any kind of way that they were moving it around or anything?
These guys were evidently waiting for somebody to show up and pick it up.
Man, if we could get a way to put this on our ship, I mean, that's 1 million credits. Just sitting
Maybe
here.
the engineer can rig something up. I don't know. Is that what you're trying to do? He just busted out the book, and I'm like, okay. Is that it?
Yeah, no, I wasn't thinking about that when
Oh, okay.
busting out the book.
But it is now.
There for a second, I thought I heard Devin start to hum the A-Team theme. Hold on, let me pull out a blowtorch. We'll get this thing moving.
Yeah.
Have they not heard of wheels on this planet? Hover shit because it's that world.
Right?
Yeah, there's got to be grab assists.
Yeah, I was thinking about grab assists too.
Maybe in the next room. I don't know.
Right, yeah, you don't see anything out here that would help you with this, but that doesn't mean that, there. So this area that you're in, you can hear the sounds of heavy machinery. And even outside the doors, the area around here, the temperature feels warmer, like you're near forges and whatnot. And you open up these double doors to the north, and the sound immediately gets almost deafening loud. And it is an automated, completely robotic factory manufacturing all manner of different technical devices. And you make your way to a side office, continuing to follow Sophia's directions. And in the office, you see that there are 3 scientists, and as soon as they see you through the window, there's this. It's like most factory offices or warehouse offices. There's like a window looking in and a door. For some reason, those windows always have Venetian blinds on them, probably so they can fire people privately. But anyways, so you go into this office, and there are 3 individuals, 2 men and a woman. And the first man that you meet is Dr. Jarrett Hoodall. The man next to him, who is slightly balding, and he's wearing a lab coat, and he insists on popping the collar up. And he's slightly balding, and he's wearing perfectly round blue-tinted glasses. And he introduces himself as Dr. Rex Dark. And he constantly rubs his hands together like he's plotting somebody's doom. And the woman introduces herself as Dr. Jolly Astor. Now, you have heard of Jolly Astor before when you were in the tourist district, when you were in the bar. And I believe it was Ting who met Lemuel Vinus, Jolly Astor's, that's her assistant. And Dr. Hoodall, he's an elder statesman, and he says, thank you for coming with, or thank you for accepting our invitation that we sent you. I hope it wasn't too disconcerting for you. He says,
was it boring? I'll give you that.
He says, I'll get right to the point. And you notice that Dr. Jolly Astor, she keeps looking at her hand computer, her little tablet, and she seems like she's not really concentrating on this meeting with you at all. And you can tell that this really is irritating Dr. Hoodall. Dr. Dark doesn't really care at all. He's just kind of, he rates, when you look at Dr. Rex Dark, he's like rating really high on your mad scientist list. You're like, yep, that's what this guy is. Dr. Hoodall says, I would really like to, let's just go ahead and get down to brass tacks. He says, as you likely know, the status of Tech World is that it is supposed to be an independent colony, but it is supplied and protected exclusively by Jadeco. They have the technology to provide, we have the technology to provide for most of our own needs, and given time, we could build our own robot-controlled system defense boats. The reality is that we are not really an independent colony. We are run by General Development Corporation. We are allowed to pursue our scientific interests as we see fit with no limitations, and we can rule ourselves as long as we continue to produce things for Jadeko. He says, we would like to change that. Like I said, we have our own abilities to produce most of our own supplies. We could build our own system defense boats. He says this would take several months, if not longer. He says, so during that transition, Tech World would be vulnerable. He says, we would be interested in joining the new kingdom of Drinax. If there are certain things that could be, that we could be provided, this would have to be promised us. He says we would need regular shipments of cheap basic consumables, basic raw materials, biochemicals, petrochemicals, radioactives, and uncommon raw materials. And he says,
there's a ton of radioactives just sitting right back out there with the guards. They're not really watching it anymore. I'm just saying, your machinery, it's just right out there, Yeah.
He said, we would need at least 4 system defense boats or equivalent, massing at least 300 tons each. We would need protection from any reprisals from Jadeko. And we would need a contract that ensures that Tech World will be free to carry out any sort of scientific research without restrictions, even in sensitive fields like psionics and artificial intelligence. And Dr. Dark starts to rub his hands together, and he says that he has some really interesting theories about the silicon life forms on Cymbeline. And he just kind of looks around, and Jolly Aster even looks up from her tablet like, what the fuck, dude? So Dr. Hodel says, so would this be feasible? Could we receive monthly shipments of the materials we need, the system defense boats, and be assured that we would be able to continue to carry out our scientific research without any limitations under the rule of Drinax?
I'm not sure which of those things are feasible and which ones aren't. The system defense boats we don't have.
We can send them all the cows they want.
Yeah, we did transport quite a few cows.
We've got a ship. We can have a ship full of fantasy residents here in no time.
Well, I mean, so your first thing, the system defense boats, you could try to use either diplomat or persuade to talk him down. I mean, you've got a pirate fleet, and there's, let's face it, they're costing you money. There's a lot of ships there that aren't really particularly useful to you at the moment. So that could be an option if you want to try and persuade him down on that.
I think we could, because a ragtag team of pirates is a lot more maneuverable and flexible than a bunch of system defense boats. That's just like head-to-head raw power competing, right? If you have 2 of those going at each other.
We could
both physically and morally flexible.
Right.
We could pull a Darth Vader on them, make the agreement, let them set up Cloud City, and then come in with our big destroyer boat and talking about, well, this is really the way it is. We're going to alter our agreement. Pray we don't do it further.
They're kind of fucked once they agree to go with us, because I don't think they're going to be like, yeah, we forgive you. So
he says, and in the meantime, until such time that the ink is drying on the new kingdom of Drinax, he would prefer to keep this all completely under the table and quiet, because if Jadeko finds out about it, then obviously his life and all these scientists, the council, their lives are forfeit. Jadeko will just kill them outright and replace them with whoever they want to put on the council.
There's no way to show loyalty more than you guys get some blood on your hands. Go out there and get the ton of radioactives and get it out of the damn street, and then let's talk about something else. I mean, but right now, I mean, you guys have all this machinery and shit, and there's a ton of radioactives just right out there in the street.
Well,
there's some dead Judeco guys, but they're not really going to say a lot.
Who wants to make the diplomat or persuasion check to negotiate about the ships?
I think I have some, but someone else may have more. I have diplomat 1. Anybody else?
I've got persuasion of 1, and then I've got the social of a +2 on my social skills.
So in this case, your social would apply because they already know that you are pirates, and they know that you are with the Kingdom of Drinax. So your social score would apply in this case.
Yeah, so I'd get a +3 on this check.
You're better than me.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So then I'm gonna. Will this be one of those things where I could take my time and get an additional +2 if I really
sell it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he can go down the checklist of the fleet.
Yeah. I'll allow that.
Like, we have a crew of X number,
right.
these
So
many trained Marines, this many.
Boy, I got a 9. I'm glad we did take our time, because my roll sucked.
So, he will concede that, your idea of using your pirate vessels would be doable in the meantime until such time that actual system defense boats can either be manufactured or either purchased or borrowed. That's okay.
How far would the Rasmussen or whatever? How long would it take for that boat to get here? That destroyer?
Well, I mean, they could jump here. Probably 2 weeks.
Right.
Maybe 1 week.
Put that in the conversation that if you are our kingdom and shit really gets funky here, we do have a big Billy badass fucking destroyer that could roll up in here and really change the way things are. I mean, that's a landscaping change event, when that thing shows up.
He says, well, what about our ability to receive regular shipments of the supplies that we need? Would this be something that Drinax would be capable of? Or now, you guys have a couple of options as far as that goes. For instance, way back, you guys helped stop a strike on Arenaseer. That's basically all that planet makes, all that colony makes, is raw basic materials, biochemicals, petrochemicals, and radioactives. So you could, and they are friendly to you. So you could, theoretically, promise him regular shipments coming from that colony.
Nice.
And then
Can we make the promise not to fuck with Marduk, though? Just to not make like a war, I guess.
Right.
People would really appreciate any science on their planet.
That's true. Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like we can provide that part, which is good.
And then he wants your assurances that that there would be a contract in place that Tech World would be able to continue their research unimpeded.
It seems like Tech World's gonna exist no matter what.
I have a too.
What details can we have? Because you're saying continue research. That means a lot of this research is already happening.
Right.
Can we review what we're signing up for? Like, review their studies?
So under the current regime, which is Judeco, so they are allowed to do any research into augmentations, psionics, nanotech,
Right.
anything,
But
with no
I
limitations.
think if we're promising to let them continue that, I would like more specific than we do what we want. I'd like to know what precisely they're doing if we're going to allow it to happen.
You know what we should do? We should say you can do whatever you want, but you have to turn over all the information to the library.
The Scholars Tower?
Yeah, the
Oh,
Scholars.
that's good. Yeah.
And then we'll have somebody read through there and find all the like really evil shit going on, and we can just go murder people. That we
Yeah.
don't want.
I have
That's
advocate
what I want to be able
too.
to do.
Yeah. Could I advocate on Drinax's behalf to draw up this contract that they want so bad?
Yeah, you could make an advocate plus intellect or education check.
Oh, right on. Well, do you want me to do this? Do you want me to draw this up?
Sure.
And see if it. All right. Let's see. If I roll really well, perhaps our contract comes out real advantageous for us in this, maybe. Who knows? This is my rules lawyer roll. 14.
That's
Rules
pretty
lawyer.
good. So, yeah, it comes out pretty advantageous for you guys. And just like you said, any research that has come out, including prototype research, according to this contract, would be sent to the Scholars Tower on the floating Palace of Drinax.
Plus 10% of all the trade.
Well, possibly. You have to consider Tech World. The real reason that Jadeko invested in Tech World wasn't just for the scientists. They agreed to give them unfettered access to scientific research in exchange for the scientists creating Starport, which is probably the biggest nanotechnology Starport you've ever seen. And the whole point of that being is that Tech World is kind of in a prime spot for that trade route going from the Imperium to the Aslan Herate.
Could we have rights to all the abandoned Jadeko equipment and property for when we force them to exit?
Yes.
Could they
Granted.
have filing cabinets, computers,
Everything. It's all yours.
Everything that is their property that is left behind when we force their exit becomes ours.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
I like that.
So they tell you that they're going to take this contract. They're going to look it over. They would like to sign it and get it back to you. The council will continue to discuss the contract, of course. They realize so Dr. Hodal was told by Sophia, that's his droid, that you had some problem with Jadeko combat drones in the streets, and that your hotel is no longer a safe place for you to stay. He offers to put you up in the Science Council's private apartments. And so he takes you, they leave the automated factory, and you go up an elevator, and you're back to the normal level of city. And he leads you into a building. In this area of Starport, the buildings don't really have any signs. They all look the same. They're all like a gleaming black surface. And he goes up to the door, and the door just kind of melds open. It doesn't open and close. It just melts away. And he takes you inside, and there is there are no doors. He just goes up to a wall and touches the wall, and it melts open, and you can witness the room reconfiguring into a large suite, so that all have your own private bedrooms with a common sitting area. And
Requirement.
yeah, and so he tells you that he will go and he and his colleagues will look over this contract. He'll bring it back to you, and to please feel free to get some rest. And if you need anything, simply to call Sophia on your mobile comm, and he will have it delivered.
Cool.
We will break here, and we'll pick this up next week, Wednesday night at 7 o'clock.
Okay, before I sleep in a new place, I want to shield my brain so that I don't go sleeper agent.
Okay. All right.
It's just going to be an SOP at this point because it doesn't cost me points.
Right. Yeah, no, it doesn't cost you anything.
It's mental shield up when I go to sleep because I don't want to murder anybody again.
Well, I mean, you know, just because you murdered somebody doesn't mean they didn't have it coming.
If I'm going to murder someone, I want to be fully aware and witnessing it.
Right, right.
More fun that way.
Well, it's like John Cusack said in Grosse Point Blank. If I show up at your door, you probably did something to bring me there.
Yeah. Cool. That's quite a coup because now more fancy planets might actually join us instead of just the lame ones.
Right, yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, noble allies.
No, yes, noble allies.
Okay, good night, everybody.
We should call them subjects.
They technically will be, so.
Yeah.
All right.
Have a good one.
Have a good night, guys. I will see you next week.
Yeah. Thanks for the game.
Yep.
I hope your tooth feels better.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think it's going to be okay. And yeah, I will see Wes again on Friday night for Deep Night Revelation.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, that's exciting. Thank you.
Yep.
I had a lot of fun.
Have a good night.